Dusk.
In with the troll.
Admiral
Now we joke him with the keeper of the light, and then Ohio on the Sven, and that leaves Yamate on the Grimstroke. Let's bring it to the table. You've got some good control, I guess some good setup. Boom ID.
5 seconds remaining.
Lincoln. So 5 position Tusk, 4 position Keeper of the Light. This is my lack of Southeast Asian. But if you can use that Wisp, a little control there from the Keeper of the Light, maybe set up with StarLadder, getting a Blink Dagger, Blink, Slithering Crush with a Bash. You've got Corrosive Haze on them. Definitely could lead to a lot here for Boom ID, especially with the Troll. You're going to have some mobile vision here for LOTAC with the Ricky. Maybe that leads to a Blink Dagger on the Sven. Blink Stun. Get some time for jump. We'll see how this game kind of plays out. If there's one thing I've noticed about Southeast, it is expected. Always expect the unexpected, because I've been watching a couple of these games, and it really does seem like anything can happen no matter what the draft is. It's actually disgusting. Boom ID kind of have a little bit of history and something like that. Expect the unexpected. So they're no stranger to making everybody question what just happened. Let's see. I'm interested to see how this Ricky does. You know, obviously granting you that mobile vision, you're working with the Sven here, who you like to see get a Blink Dagger eventually. I mean, if Boom ID come prepared to throw a lot of sentries down, they're going to have the Corrosive Haze off. Obviously, and oh boy, right away, LOTAC getting the first blood. That is the Grimstroke helping out, and Raven actually getting first blood. That's Inkswell on top, and maybe that's the combination they're looking for. Inkswell on top of Ricky, starting like that. I mean, he's got his way in. Without a Blink Dagger, he's got his way in. If he's got Blink Strike ready, you've got Inkswell on him, and he can Blink Strike right on top. So definitely some combinations I'm looking at here from LOTAC that could take Boom ID by surprise. Obviously, it would have later in the game with StarLadder 6. It's going to get harder for Rick. But Slithering Crush comes out. The Inkswell lands on to 2. A couple of shots being thrown by Raven. Yeah, I mean, that's the combination they're looking for. We'll see if this is going to stay a tri-lane over bottom. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it'll be OD up against Iskunka, and then over top, it's Ohio up against Jokum and Fervian. That's the Troll and the Keeper of the Light. So how often are they looking to use Inkswell, especially when Yamate hits level 2? Maybe finds Stroke of Fate. I would say Stroke of Fate would be probably a better choice. Get that slow out with the Inkswell. Skim gets on top, uses that Blade Fury, and they could probably play this lane pretty aggressive. They've already got themselves a 1,000 net worth lead. So Makoto over mid to get a show on the OD. And then we take a look at Ohio, who is very deep, just cutting these creeps. And level 1 goes to the Great Cleave. So it's an interesting way to play Sven. I've certainly say that I've never seen a Sven creep cut like that, but definitely a lot of confidence in making a move like this. Fervian finally come over, get the slow Ohio, but immediately with the TP out, damage won't be there, and he actually goes all the way back to base. to salve up, walk all the way over, creeps coming, invade onto this one tower. Let's take a look. Raven, Ink12 right on top with Mr. Kez Cute. Even if they don't get the kill here with Skim, it's so much harassment coming out onto Kez Cute. This is a dirty combination. That's atrocious. Watch out your pubs. If that gets popular, there's going to be a lot of angry people here in Dota. That is actually disgusting.
Tonight. Wait.
And it's that snowball level 1 that's forced out to get the save.
Arcane power.
Another thing here about this Ricky, and I guess it depends on the way the Ricky ends up getting built, but maybe Ricky ends up becoming a little bit of a core, or coming into his own later into the game. 2 raid bands to stop. Right now it's just a nuisance with invisibility as well as Inkfall on top. Again, we take a look over top is Ohio. Slowed up, but still cutting
Dire's
these
top tower is under
He
attack.
really doesn't quite care. And he goes to the south. Continues to just use the cleave to kill these creeps. It's a slow process, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
it's okay. It's working. FB, he's by himself for the moment. As he has to go all the way back. He doesn't have any. Still level 1. That is just a rough life for him. Ohio level 3. So he's got 2 of the cleave. He's got 1 to the Stormhammer. He's got that gets into a little bit of trouble. And he's also got that cleave to help take out these creeps a little bit quicker. Continue to cut. Sven from this spot or control this courier. They'll active TP over the Tusk as FBZ goes down over bottom, but the chase is on for Ohio. Creeps coming in. They do have Snowball, but what they're trying to do is hold it to see if they can wait for the TP, but he comes in and now more creeps coming over. Ohio's just picking space, and that's really now he's just going to continue to farm. FBZ finally comes over. There's the Stormhammer, the Illuminate, the Snowball. Ohio, he's made enough space. He's killed enough creeps. Now he's got himself the War Cry. Slithering Crush finally comes in, and Ohio, hit with the bash, will finally fall to Keskute. That is so much space, so much use here by Boom ID to come over and get the kill onto the Sven. And then FBZ moves bottom, Big Fury right on top. He's in so much trouble. Southern Crush comes out, he hits the bash, but still. The code and true word is actually and FBZ is the only one sitting here. You don't really need that tiling to force anything.
Radiant's
That
top
just
tower
And now Skims on the run. The tech. The Silver Crush, he does have bash. Favor, and actually Makoto landing 3-man touring with boat coming in was crucial to their survival. Ink swell, and there it is, pop. But the X finally pulling them back. The Alpha today will eventually die, and the game is even at 6. Meanwhile, Sven here going into the flats. He's going Blink Dagger afterwards. Yamate dies again. Not anything you really need to see. It is was Dota kill, but meanwhile mid It's cute. Showing himself. Got 3 heroes here to push this tier 1 tower over mid. They took the tier 1 tower over top. Stormhammer used, but no follow-up yet. StarLadder. He'll TP in. Doesn't have a blink dagger, but with LOTAC, will move out. And Makoto TPing top. Troll's got the Battle Fury. This is a 12.5 minute Battle Fury. Not bad here from Fergian. So his farm is really going to be put up a notch, and he's already 1,600 net worth ahead of the Jug. Ward here from the Dire. Raven is under it, and there's actually another sentry ward here as well. And I'll spot the vision that Raven just placed. Did I actually have a sentry ward to get rid of that? That sentry ward's gonna disappear in 8 seconds, so they'd like to clean up that observer ward soon. The corrosive haze, observer ward still there. There's the smoke screen, and Snowball will be there. They also use the from the Coddle, so they get the kill there on the Raven. It's Fervian who gets it.
Structures are fortified.
An 8-6 in favor of Boom ID, and it's Makoto and Fergian who are doing so much for Boom ID to get the game as close as it is, and it really did look like LOTAC were starting to walk away with this one, and now you're dealing with an OD who's got a Midas, but that's really all he's got. And next, he's going in Force Staff. Then you look over at Ohio, who is building the Vlads. He saved up 1,700 gold, then going into the Blink Dagger. And then Jugs, who's got the Asha. He's also 1,800 gold saved up. So we'll see what LOTAC are ready to fight. There were a couple of smokes on Boom ID earlier, and now take a look. Ohio rooted up, getting hit by Fervian. No rotations coming out to help him, and now he actually follows the boat. That's coming through the turret landing. And another easy kill here for Boom ID. Huge range on it just yet, and FBZ with through these waters. And if you look close, so he does produce a peak behind him. Illuminate coming through. The level 8 Keeper of the Light is here, and take a look at how far Fervian is getting ahead. He's already 3,000 net ahead, and who's doing a good job over bottom. And LOTAC, they're the ones really kind of losing their spot here in this game. They're up 4,000 net worth just a couple minutes ago. Boom ID, meanwhile, slowly with these pickoffs, have been pulling it back as the Battle Fury here for Troll. You've also got Kunkka. That's 1,000 net worth. Not the best spot, but Kodo has been involved enough. So Ohio actually second guesses and ends up going to the Vlads. I think that's because he wants himself with a little bit extra positioning and maybe finding himself a way out if he sees himself getting closed in on. But at the same time, that's a Blink Dagger picked up for FBZ, who had an atrocious lane. And they've died the same amount of times, but now FBZ's got the Blink initiation. You get 2 hits on a bash right, you get the blast swift front with the corrosive haze. And if you got some follow that, you are in a lot of trouble. There's the silence, but Raven, read him and weep. Kodo's got the deck stacked against you. That Tidebringer will be enough to get the kill on a Raven. And then off of that is a smoke from LOTAC, so they don't have Raven, who's really your mobile observer ward. Meanwhile, the sentry just spots this observer ward, newly placed and freshly eaten.
Radiant's bottom tower
Blink.
is under attack.
Ohio moving in. Sharp in a good spot. Keep Ohio out of this fight. The ultimate kill on it. You can see when the Omnis are coming through, there's the snowball. And Tusk knows he's dead. His Q falls, and it's a double kill for Scan.
Dire's bottom tower.
They go for the tower. They go for Roche first. Only the Aegis X pulls back this OD, and now the Instrument's been to try and stay alive, but he's surrounded by Boom ID and forced staff away, but he did enough for another X. There's the sharp fucking pass, but he wasn't hit. He will get the kill. It's the OD falling. They lose Yamate, and they only lose the first life on this troll. My god, it is hard to cast with this cult.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So he's going into a 4-staff, then a Crimson Guard. Kato, meanwhile, he's also got a 4-staff, so they're really just all trying to get away from possibly the smoke screen that comes out from Raven, or, you know, maybe get away from the ink stuff. And ink 12 on a Raven. It's on the life, yeah, FBC with Blink Dagger as well as the they're coming through the kill on Kato. You're coming in with the Swarm. He falls right into the hands of the OD, and the right clicks come through to get the kill, and that is 2 there for LOTAC. To 10. And that is a 3,000 net worth lead here for Boom ID. And that is off the back of the Troll Warlord, who's got the BKB.
Structures are fortified.
Oh, Skem's got Mjolnir.
Dire's middle
So
tower.
definitely something to worry about. OG, meanwhile, did go to that Midas. He'll be going 4-staff and then the Hex. And Ohio, who is back into the blast, but in a little trouble. The match comes out as well as the Southern Cross Hammer throwing at Furby, and now he's trying to get onto the run. Warcry is on the run though, and the match again. Soul and used, and where is the follow-up? Everybody's here for Boom ID. You don't get Ohio out of it. Soulbind used, and it you're kind of still hoping that Raven maybe finds himself online. I think that was a little bit of the plan here from LOTAC. You gotta remember that Boom ID did have LOTAC's number in the last qualifier during Dream League, where they 2-0 them. So, you know, it was an early advantage for LOTAC, but Boom ID really just stabilizing, getting the SNY here. Furby, he's also got the Battle Fury as well as the BKB. I mean, sitting in a really good spot. Makoto's recovered quite well with the Heaven's Halberd as well as the Shadow Blade. And yeah, again, the recovery from FPZ here, thanks to really the Troll who's opened up a lot of space for them.
Scanning.
LOTAC, they need to kind of slow down this game as pressure continues to mount from Boom ID. One piece away from that Vlad's, and then the OD, of course, they'll go for that Hex, and then Man-Style next for Scam. We'll see if he's given enough time, but again, pressure from Boom ID. This will eventually lead to another Roche, which is up for another 4 minutes, but you can say on the their punch is going to be missed by FBZ, but so actually the longest punch comes down, well as the encouragement on the Yamato, like, look at this over from the cutoff. They end up getting the soul line, but running through that Fermion. He's already taken out the D. Moves over and Scan. Slow will be placed. The Blade Fury out. Yamato as well. 2 heroes down on the side of LOTAC. Continuing to take Koto here with the X as well. Both coming through. And there's the Torrent. It should be an easy kill. Don't kill for Fermion. And that is set up off the back of the keeper for the lobby. Just down the wilderness. And Joker. Nicely done. And Boom ID with that 3 heroes dead. They take their towers so quickly. Obliterating these buildings. Exodia stop.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Next one's the spot. There's the Storm Hammer. That's going to land on a coach. They got the sentry ward placed down for the Radiant. I'll take the Dire Sentry. Where does it continue? Case looking for eggs. The Illumination. We better shot the Blade Fury. He's advanced. BD the Chief. On the look over theOdia's Birdie. Move up forward the BKB being popped. They use the Omni Slash and that's to go onto the back bottom. They actually gets the damage mitigated and all the way for the Cuddle. So they lose Jokum. They'll be on the run here for Boom ID. But there's the Blade Portal for the Storm Hammer. They brought the intel on from Ohio. And the lockdown because gets forward. There's the Shadow. Can you as well? Everybody's starting to get around Kodo, and the Raven finds it, takes up 3-time spree, and 2 exit kills here for LOTAC. Still 5,000 net worth lead here for Boom ID. Have been pressuring well. They lost 2 there in the exit kills. As LOTAC played that, I mean, that could have backfired heavily. And probably did as well as it could have. The Omni Slash getting mitigated by forwards heading up onto the couple who ended up dying to Scam. Had that been more focused on the cores of Boom ID, maybe we see this be a little bit worse for them on the escape, but like they buy some time. They'll be down 4,000 net worth. Roche up in maybe a minute and 15. Again, Ricky Raven still looking for this diffusal blade. He's got enough for the 2 blades of alacrity, but still needs to find himself 1,100, almost 1,200 more gold.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
And unfortunately, he's in this 4 position and really not finding much of anything in terms of farm. He's really just here to be that mobile observer ward and be the guy that they throw the info on. You get rid of the noses of the heroes of Boom ID. The extra imprisonment gets used, and Makoto unable to lock down DOD. Snowball, not in time. Really love to see this Hex. They've got the extra imprisonment, but not much in terms of follow-up. Only Ohio who will blink and throw a Storm Hammer, but that's it. Boom ID. We're gonna have to finish the game now. And
Radiant's top tower
might just wait till the next Roche get that Aegis and cheese and set themselves up for it. The one thing that kind of worries me is the fact that this BKB is down in 8 seconds. Stuff crucial will be about just yet. I think 8-7 seconds is still enough time to do a lot for Verena, especially if They're just gonna give up towers like this.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They give up the tier 1, they give up tier 2. This continues to allow Boomai to put pressure on you, and what will eventually be an
Radiant's
extra.
top shrine is under attack.
They're pressuring everything across the river up to about this line,
Radiant's top
and
shrine has fallen.
that ends up
Dire's
just
bottom
becoming
tower is under
where
attack.
LOTAC can safely farm and not get picked off at. Having that kind of pressure, having this kind of posture up on from Boom ID allows them to be ready to go for it the second it comes up. And that'll give them the next Aegis and Cheese unless LOTAC are willing to go after this and make an aggressive play. Ohio obviously pushing up over in the bot lane, but he knows that Boom ID are settled across the river in the mid and top lane.
Dire's
So
bottom tower
really,
is under attack.
you need to find out what your next play is if you're the side of LOTAC, and FB's looking forward but won't find anybody.
Invisibility.
And there's
Radiant
Roach.
are
There's a
scanning.
scan actually coming out from the Radiant side. They're ready to go for Roche. Well, everybody is towards that. They do smoke up. They can get into this Mojo actually leading the way, and they can't. Aegis is also picked up from the troll. They smoke up, they don't got themselves the tail and Roche. They got themselves the soul that's going to be used for the X, and then they got themselves the will for the Gato. Omni Slash will be used, but it won't net them anything just yet. His Q comes with Snowball. They've also gotten the kill on the UG, so he's going to be there for a minute. Without buyback, there's the X, as well as the Torrent landing on Yamate. And they will push him back and get the kill. Irvin with a double kill. 2 heroes dead here on LOTAC. They only take a small
Radiant's
car.
middle barracks
They
are under
finally
attack.
have the Fuso blade here for Ricky. But again, Blue ID, take your
Radiant
buildings real
structures are
quick.
fortified. Dire's
Back
bottom
to
tower
full.
is under attack.
Stormhammer, Raven, yeah, to find his way in. He's got the answer, but he's going to be down on the wall ground. Inswell does it, and Fermion moves in. They've got the boat coming in. Drew takes Q with the snowball on top of the immediately by. And now Raven is in a lot of trouble as his scam is freaking continues to move on forward. Stormhammer will be thrown, but Fermion just does not care. He doesn't care. Throw everything you wanted him, and he'll lose the Aegis, he'll have to choose forward, but he doesn't care. Raven, not a lot of health, he'll use the trick to the, but they look over a scam, and now with the rest of my D closing on escape, they'll get the clip for 100 seconds. They no longer have him in the next fight, or in this fight, or whatever's coming next, because he's gone for 100 seconds. Ohio back up the high ground, and let's see, are Boom ID willing to stay?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There it is. They get to the tier through the Blink Stormhammer coming up once again from Ohio Makota, though. Not
Radiant's
to
bottom
turn
tower
off this
is
one. The Astro imprisonment keeping him away, but setting himself up for the short. Again, they take in the bottom tier. They'll take the melee rack. Stormhammer lands on 2, but where is your follow? Fermion just does not care. $15,000 net worth lead. You're still without scam for another 50 seconds. This is all Boom ID at the moment, and with no signs of backing off. Fuck, oh boy, they found Yaman. Say they found Raven. There's Illuminate. Tricks of the trade comes down. They'll take a sentry warded, and a little bit of trouble is going to be Yamate's. Ohio comes over. Makoto, BKBD, thrown from Kyle. And now, double torrent coming through as well as the Will-O-Wisp. Ohio and Yamate are still alive, but slept across the next comes out. Both these heroes, and he's being put in FBZ. They're going to kill Wallace punches. Wallace so long. And now they get themselves at least even in trades. Burke and moves over the dire courier, ends up dying. But again, Boom might be okay with this trade. Look at how far ahead this troll is. 27,000 net worth to the 15,000 of Jug. And again, they set their sights on the top tier 3, and they will continue to move forward without much resistance. Just knocking at that door quicker and quicker. And there's nothing to stop him as the Stormhammer comes out. But Furbian has to move himself back. They take out the sentry. Also, the trade dropped down. Scam goes into the Fury. And now the Hex thrown down off the Furbian, who needs to be a little bit careful. But he's got that finally, he's more landing. But get the shield. I don't believe the meeting with the OPC coming back for this fight and not being used. We'll see what they have at the table for LOTAC. He buys back as well. Makoto on the run. But the stab from FBZ trying to get Makoto out will get Makoto out.
Hello.
So there's that little exchange. But again, that comes at the cost of a tower and almost another melee. Racks are gone. Their bottom racks also have ceased to exist. And it's 23 to 15 in favor of Boom ID. And again, the push in for Megas. They could wait for the next Roche. They could wait for the Purple Ion Troll. They are just that far ahead where it really doesn't matter at this point, but they could take as safe as they want. They're up 16,000 net. Don't think LOTAC are finding themselves back into the game anytime soon, but Boom ID still continuing to pressure Imposter over on the inside of the map. So what can you really do? That's far more creeps come into the base. Shard, exploring, Scam, moving forward. We'll see what he has on at the end of the 45 seconds. Oh, by coming up from the 2 of the 0, maybe caught by Furby and moving over from Scam. Show Kirby is actually onto the OG, so it keeps him out of the fucking wall. And now the Axe is well with the boat. That pulls him in with the Torrent. 2 is gone, and that is looking like all she wrote. Swamp, they were straight that fear of dead. The creeps have arrived here for Boom ID. They'll take out Ohio for good measure. All of which don't have kayak, and GG is called. Game goes to Boom ID. No, we're not really sure until the aging fall in terms of who wins the Boom ID game, but it has fallen, and Boom ID